Time and Temperature sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Live from Fox 35 News, you're watching Good Day Orlando.
Good morning and welcome to the weekend. I'm Hannah McKenzie. Strap in, Central Florida. We are bracing for a rare Florida freeze. We are expecting temperatures we have not seen in decades. Thermometers dropping to the 20s, but the wind chill will have it feeling more like the teens and the single digits in some spots. We do have live team coverage this morning, from preparing your home and car to how the freeze can impact your weekend plans. We've got Matt Trezza live in Mount Dora this morning at the Arts Festival, where hundreds are braving the cold. But first, meteorologist TJ Springer is here. TJ, a lot of work for you this weekend.
Oh yeah, another weekend with winter weather, Hannah, and this cold front is going to really bring some huge changes to Central Florida. It's already gotten through, but we can see some showers behind it. Notice the snow on the northwest side of this area of low pressure, and it's going to be a big system for portions of the Carolinas and the mid-Atlantic as this area of low pressure works off to the north and east. Now that the front has gotten through, we're focused on the upper level energy with this system, and that will drive that potential for a few showers here early on for our Saturday. But I wanted to take you to Charlotte first. You can see this is the Motor Speedway there, and it is looking like a winter wonderland. So we'll try to give you the snowy scenes this morning as well, but we are focusing on some of these showers across Central Florida, seeing these closer to some of the theme parks south of Lake Buena Vista, some of these across Polk County near Lakeland and Bartow, seeing a couple of showers as well around some of far southern Sumter County over the last couple of hours. On the timeline today, you may be wondering, when is that chill going to start to take over? Well, this morning, it's still mild, watching out for a few showers. And when I'm saying mild, it's seasonable. It's milder than what we'll feel certainly later on today. By this afternoon, it's becoming windy and temperatures are starting to take the tumble. And then tonight, it's going to be blustery and frigid. So be prepared for the winter conditions, the temperatures that are going to feel a lot worse by later on. You can see our numbers just dropping as we head closer to dinner time. We're back into the 40s, but wind chills will likely be down into the 30s already. I think we'll see a little sunshine trying to sneak back out as well later on this afternoon. Freeze warnings for all of us as we head through our Sunday afternoon, not Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, with extreme cold warnings as well. That's why we have a storm team alert Saturday through our Monday morning, with wind chills potentially in the single digits and teens. And we'll talk more about it, let you know when temperatures do start to warm back up, and if we have another cold front in that 7-day forecast here, Hannah, coming up in just a little bit.
Alrighty, we'll see you then, TJ. Thank you. If you do want to brave the cold this weekend, there are some fun events going on, like the Mount Dora Arts Festival. Thousands of people flock to this event every year from around the country, and it's one of the premier annual events that they host. Fox 35's Matt Trezza is there this morning. So Matt, you are bundled up, you are ready to go. I'm sure a lot of people will be looking just like you today.
Yeah, that's right. Not just thousands, tens of thousands of people come to the Mount Dora Arts Festival. And actually, I am pretty much bundled, but I think I may be over-prepared a little bit because it is a little bit more mild. As TJ said, the weather really doesn't seem like it's going to be impacting until later today, probably tomorrow morning. That's when you're really going to want to bundle up to come to this event. The Art Festival is today from 9 to 5, tomorrow from 9 to 4. Live in Mount Dora, Matt Trezza, Fox 35 News.
All right, Matt, we'll check in with you in a bit. Thank you. Well, now is the time to make any final preparations before the cold gets here. Our team coverage continues with Fox 35's Chancellor Wynn. He's hearing from the experts on the best ways to protect your home. If you're in need of a warm place to hunker down, cold weather shelters will be open in Central Florida. We've got some of them on your screen right now. You can also head to fox35orlando.com to see the full list of locations. It is best to check with each shelter for availability and hours. The Florida freeze is also causing problems for our Space Coast. Today's wet dress rehearsal for the Artemis II rocket was scrubbed. It's been moved to Monday. NASA cannot fuel the rocket if the temperatures fall below 41 degrees for an extended period of time. A space expert says he is not sure Monday will happen either because it'll still be very cold here.
You could have heaters that would heat up the gases there if there's a concern about any specific area.
When the test does happen, crews will fuel the rocket and run a full uncrewed test down to 33 seconds. Moving the rehearsal means the mission launch date has now also been pushed back. It is now February 8th, at the earliest. Already tracking the Florida freeze? You can do so with our Fox Local app. If you don't have it already, use your phone's camera to scan the QR code on your screen now. Just click the link and it'll download to your phone for free. You'll get real-time radar and the latest on all of our watches and warnings. Right now in Orange County, deputies are searching for the person who shot a woman last night. It happened on Ain Road close to University Boulevard and the 417. Deputies say they found a woman shot with life-threatening injuries. She is in the hospital this morning. We don't have any information on a possible suspect yet. If you know anything, you're asked to contact police. Staying in Orange County, deputies say a man locked himself inside a car after a house fire. This happened at a home on Treasure Island Court in Orlando. Fire crews quickly put out the fire, but then deputies say the man locked himself inside the car, which was in the driveway. They were able to get him out of the car and take him to the hospital. No word yet on what caused the fire. Still to come here on Good Day Orlando, chilling bones and snapping records. We are looking into the coldest temps we've seen across Florida over the last few decades. And as we go to break, the Orlando Magic also catching a break. They are back in the winner's circle this morning, and we're breaking down the action on the courts. Plus, TJ timed this out for us.
Oh my gosh, Hannah, it is going to be a brutal stretch of cold. Certainly not Florida-like, but we'll get you through it. We're here every step of the way. We can see the gloominess this morning, also tracking some showers with this storm system where it is too warm for the snow. But we'll talk a little more about that potential, where it is snowing now, and how long we stay in the freezer coming up in just about 15 minutes. Just a few minutes, that is. Don't go away. Hi, I'm TJ Springer.
And I'm Maxine Sudarma.
Join us for Celebrate Lunar 2026, the year of the horse. Explore a vibrant blend of Asian culture today from 12 to 9 at Luminary Green Park.
Build a stronger sense of community.
Celebrate Lunar 2026.
For ticket information, visit celebratelunar.com.
Good Day Orlando, sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Good Day Orlando's Wake Up and Win sweepstakes. You've got a chance to win $500. Watch Good Day Orlando starting Monday for your chance to win.
It is 7:14 on a Saturday morning that will feel a lot better than our Sunday. It is going to be a brutal blast of Arctic air. We're tracking the Florida freeze that will be hitting us through the rest of our weekend. Now, did you know the lowest temperature in Orlando history was 18 degrees? It was set during the Great Freeze of 1894 and 1895. Now, the cold snap wiped out essentially the entire citrus industry in places like Winter Garden. I got to visit the Winter Garden Heritage Museum on Friday to learn more about that historic winter. Yeah, it was an unbelievable freeze, and that's something that we probably will not hit this weekend. It's not likely, but that cold air, no matter what, when you factor in the wind, it'll feel colder than 18 degrees. And hopefully for all of our farms, our citrus harvests around the region have taken those necessary precautions. There's a system that is doing it. We can see snow on the northwest side of it across some of the Carolinas up into Virginia. And eventually this will slide off the coast, but it's going to become a major nor'easter as it does so. Some showers that we're tracking right now across central Florida behind the cold front, all thanks to the upper level energy that is moving in, and that's going to really help drive up our wind and also start to bring in that colder air. Here's the snow. This is Thomasville, North Carolina. This is the Winding Creek Golf Course tracking the snow this morning, and we're seeing it as well up around a good bit of northern and western North Carolina. Temperatures are starting to drop. Notice Gainesville only 45. The blue indicating that cold air starting to sink in. 55 in Melbourne, Orlando. We have 52 in Sanford. Good morning to you in Daytona Beach. It is 50. The temperatures now, this is essentially where we're going to be. We may climb a few more degrees before temperatures start to tank. You can see the wind direction kind of from the west-northwest right now, but notice through the morning into the afternoon, we start to get that wind back around from the north to northwest. That's going to pull in that colder, drier air. Watching them for a couple of showers even through 1 o'clock through lunchtime on our Fox weather model. But notice, you can still see some of that moisture. And this is what we've been talking about all week long. That potential for maybe a Gulf effect, rain shower or snow flurry. Chance is pretty slim, but this is just like what we would see on the Great Lakes when you have that cold wind, that cold air blowing over the warm lakes, or in this case, the warm Gulf. And these little streamers of moisture is what our Fox weather model is picking up on. You can see a little blip there, maybe a sleet pellet, or we say a grapple. It's essentially, think of Dippin' Dots almost falling from the sky. But nonetheless, chances for wintry precipitation pretty slim. It's something we'll be watching though closer to the Gulf Coast in spots like Tampa through the next 24 hours. The bigger story is the cold and the wind. Wind advisories from this afternoon through 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. It's going to be blustery and it's going to make it feel brutally cold. Gusts up around 38, 40 miles per hour, even beyond that through dinner time right into the overnight. And that wind is going to start pulling in that bitterly cold air mass, this Arctic air mass, and that's why we have storm team alerts as we progress through our day today, right into the day on Monday with wind chills in the teens and single digits. So let's talk about that. Tonight, low to mid 20s, well below where we should be. Clouds starting to clear though, and as we progress through our night, the bigger story was going to be the wind chills. Freeze warnings though for all of us, which is something we don't say often, through 1 p.m. Sunday. So it's not just through the morning, through 1 p.m. Sunday, extreme cold warnings through 1 p.m. on Sunday as well, and that's because of the frigid wind chills that will sneak down into the single digits for some of us. Let's talk about that through dinner time, through late evening, feeling like the teens and 20s. So if you have to do anything before bed, be sure to bundle up. No exposed skin. Tomorrow morning, this is 7 a.m., 9. Feels like 9 in Gainesville, around 12 in Orlando. That's going to be the story. And you can still see by the time we get into the afternoon, struggling 30s for our wind chills as we head through our Sunday afternoon and evening. Now, storm team alerts, you can see right through our morning on Sunday and Monday, and then we're back into the 40s finally by the time we get into the day on Thursday. So feeling a little bit better, but we have storm team alerts Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. A slow climb out of the freezer. We're back into the 60s as we progress through our Tuesday, and then another cold front can bring us a few showers as we head through the day on Thursday. Alrighty, it's time for our forecast. Be sure you're bundled up, and they are, as you're walking the dogs today. This is little Miko. Oh my goodness, of Haines City. How cute. Looks like maybe just after a groom, after a haircut. So cute. We love to see him. And if you want to send us one, scan the QR code on the screen. We would love to feature your fur babies on Good Day Orlando. It is 7:20. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Get our lowest year-end prices through January 31st at Toyota Orlando and Toyota of Claremont.
From sunny to severe weather, we're on it. Depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team. Good Day Orlando, sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Still to come on Good Day Orlando, with temperatures expected to reach the 20s this weekend. Experts are now giving some tips and tricks on how to keep your lawn protected. You don't want to miss this one. We'll be right back.
Fox 35 News. You can depend on us.
You could win $500. Watch Good Day Orlando starting Monday. Live from Fox 35 News, you're watching Good Day Orlando.
Good morning, now 7:30 on your Saturday. I'm Hannah McKenzie. Thanks for joining us here on Good Day Orlando. We are continuing to track this Central Florida freeze this morning. It may not feel like it just yet, but the frozen reality will soon set in. Our temperatures expected to drop into the 20s. Of course, this is going to impact a lot of things, including any potential weekend plans you might have. So we do have live team coverage this morning to help you with all aspects. We've got Matt Trezza out live in Mount Dora, where tens of thousands of people are expected to descend in just a few hours. But first, we start with meteorologist TJ Springer. TJ, you are tracking all of this for us.
We are. Yeah, it is going to be a brutal Arctic blast, especially for Florida standards. But we are tracking the snow as well. We have winter storm warnings north of Florida across portions of the Carolinas, Georgia, up into Virginia, where the snow is going to come down furiously. Our story, though, not the snow. at least for the most part. But the cold, there's the area of low pressure behind it. We do have some showers. We have some upstairs energy. So that's what's going to be driving the lift in the atmosphere to generate the showers and maybe, just maybe, say a flurry possibly across the Gulf Coast. Chances are pretty slim, but cold air is going to eventually take over. And if there's any sort of moisture, we might be able to see a couple of snowflakes possibly near the Gulf side. But that is not our major concern today. It is the cold temperature tumble. A live look in Mount Dora. It's a little breezy out there now, but the wind is going to start to blow quite strong later on today behind this storm system. Tracking a couple of showers here this morning as well on Fox 35 Storm Tracker radar. A little heavier burst of rain there just to the east of Lakeland and central Polk County. We'll be watching that, but for the most part, the rain not going to be a big concern today, but we are going to keep that potential for a few showers early today. It's milder in perspective of what we're going to be feeling later on. By this afternoon, temperatures are dropping, the wind is picking up, and then for tonight, it's becoming frigid and it's going to be blustery. So not going to be great to be out and about. If you have any yard work, you want to get out there, make sure your pool is good, your irrigation system is turned off. Do it sooner rather than later. And we'll talk a little more about the storm team alert that we have not just today, but really through the next few days because of the cold here with freeze warnings. Hannah coming up in just about 15 minutes.
All right, thanks, TJ. Well, a lot of people will be heading to Mount Dora this weekend. Yeah, they said as well as it's going to be cold, they're going to go out there anyways. We've got Matt Trezza out there live this morning. He's already been showing us how some folks have been setting up. Do we have Matt? There he is. Hey, Matt.
Yes, of course. Here I am. I've been here all morning. I'm going to be here throughout the morning showing you about how people are setting up here at the Mount Dora Arts Festival. It's an annual huge event. Nearly 100,000 people, sometimes even more, are expected to attend, tens of thousands. Mount Dora Arts Festival goes on today and tomorrow. Today is 9 to 5. Tomorrow is 9 to 4. Live in downtown Mount Dora, Matt Trezza, Fox 35 News.
Matt, we are laughing over here with him in his t-shirt, and you bundled up. That is too funny.
Hey, different strokes.
Oh, I get it. I would be like you. I get it. All right, something else to keep in mind this weekend, the 5 Ps. First, people, remember to dress in layers like we just heard. Plus, you should limit your time outdoors in sub-freezing temperatures. And keep a close eye on anyone who's more vulnerable to the cold. That could be children, the elderly. Next, pets. Bring them inside, or at least to make sure they have a safe, warm place out of the cold and the wind. Next, we have your pipes. Make sure you protect and insulate any of them, especially those exposed pipes. You can also let outdoor faucets slowly drip to avoid cracks. Now, if you've got one, don't forget about your pool. Keep your pump running to prevent damage. Lastly, those plants. We've got 3 consecutive nights where we are expected to be in the 20s. And when it comes to plants and fresh sod, make sure you are covering them with breathable fabric. For established grass, though, it's best to water the soil 12 to 24 hours before the freeze because the moist soil will retain more heat. And don't panic when you start to see it changing colors.
It's going to turn brown. Do not fret. Don't get worried about it. It will come back. Don't overdo it. Don't overthink it.
And don't fertilize it or scalp your lawn after a freeze. Experts say patience is key when it comes to letting your lawn recover naturally. You can track our Florida freeze with our Fox Local app. Scan the QR code now on your screen to download it. Click that link. It is free. You'll get real-time radar and the latest on all of our watches and warnings. This morning, we are getting new details on the push for a permanent memorial at the Pulse site. Officials say fencing will be installed around the property as early as Monday. Demolition of the building is set to begin mid-March. And once that fencing is in place next week, officials say the temporary memorial will no longer be accessible. However, residents can still drop off items like flowers outside. A meeting to provide updates on design plans will be held on Thursday, March 5th. That is at 4 p.m. Well, if you are heading to the DMV for a driver's test, you better be able to speak the language of the road. Starting next Friday, you'll have to take your license exam in English. The state is getting rid of all tests in other languages, while also banning interpreters from the process. According to state officials, this is about boosting highway safety and making sure everyone on the road is on the same page. Now to an update for you, UCF is sharing new photos of construction on Roth Tower. That's at the Bounce House. Demo on the existing tower started last fall after the Knights' final home football game. The tower features new amenities, club spaces, and suites for fans. This 4-level facility is expected to be complete by the fall. A new exhibit at the Orlando Museum of Art is opening today. Artist David LaChapelle will have his art on display in his largest U.S. exhibit to date. He's known for his work in fashion and photography. It's called As the World Turns, and you may recognize some famous faces in his more than 150 pieces at the museum, including Dolly Parton, Elton John, Tupac, Megan Thee Stallion, Britney Spears, and Lana Del Rey.
David not only chooses to work with celebrities, but celebrities flock to him. Literally, they ask for him because he's got, what I like to call the LaChapelle touch. He can be on an assignment, but it's still going to become a fine art photograph.
The exhibit covers 40 years of his career with artwork from the 80s to today, unveiling never-before-seen creations. As the World Turns will be on display through May 3rd. Still to come, the Brevard Zoo is busy protecting its animals, and we're taking you inside to show you some of their winter weather preps.
Hi, I'm TJ Springer.
And I'm Maxine Sudarma.
Join us for Celebrate Lunar 2026, the year of the horse. Explore a vibrant blend of Asian culture today from 12 to 9 at Luminary Green Park.
Build a stronger sense of community.
Celebrate Lunar 2026.
For ticket information, visit celebratelunar.com.
Good Day Orlando, sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
We start with breaking news tonight.
Fox 35 News exclusive tonight.
I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. Join us weeknights on Fox 35 News.
Welcome back. We are not the only ones bracing for this Florida freeze. A lot of animals are too. I stopped by Brevard Zoo to see how zookeepers are keeping animals safe and warm there. The Brevard Zoo will remain open as normal during this cold stretch, but it is important to know if you are venturing out there, you might see a few empty enclosures, TJ. That, of course, all for their safety and well-being.
Yeah, I'd probably want to be in the warmth somewhere as well, out of the enclosure if I was out there.
Oh, definitely. Me as well. I'd be back. And they call them the night houses when they're on the exhibit. I'd be back there, yeah. Oh,
Same.
Yeah.
It's going to be brutal, Hannah.
Like, we're talking like brutal.
Yeah, I mean, for anywhere, not just Florida, but especially for our Florida vibes that we're used to here in the Sunshine State. Yeah, the snow coming down once again. If you remember last weekend, we were tracking that snow across the East Coast, and we were doing it once again as this nor'easter continues to strengthen here today into tonight. Snow coming down across the Carolinas, portions of Tennessee, Virginia, Georgia, but we are monitoring some showers behind this cold front with that upper level energy here across central Florida. So let's talk about the snow first, because I know this is a headline if you're traveling, something to think about. Make sure you're keeping tabs on your airlines. This is Knoxville, downtown Knoxville, Tennessee. This part of Tennessee could pick up close to half a foot, maybe if not more than that. 6 to 12 inches across portions of Tennessee, the Carolinas, and Georgia. This is Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Wake Forest University, another snowy scene, but sorry, we're not going to see that here in Central Florida as much as some of us may be wanting it. But it is going to be cold, brutally cold. That's our Girls Lakeside cam, a live look over Lake Fairview, where we are monitoring some showers, at least in the vicinity of Orlando. South of us, though, we are seeing that across Polk County near Bartow, Fort Meade, Dundee, and we'll keep tabs on a few of these showers here. Also seeing some of these across central Brevard County from about Melbourne up to South Patrick Shores and Cocoa Beach. Nothing heavy, but we do have that lift from that upstairs energy. And that's what we'll watch this morning. Then we start to see the showers clear for the most part through the afternoon. The wind starts to get going, and that northwesterly wind is going to pull in that Arctic air as we progress through the evening and into tonight. So that's going to be the big story as you're getting out for maybe dinner or breakfast tomorrow. Really need to bundle up. That, church services. Here's our Fox weather model. You can see as we head through the remainder of the day, We see these showers start to exit, but watch the Gulf Coast. That strong wind, we've been talking about this all week. There's that slim chance that we may see maybe a shower that tries to mix with a couple of snowflakes or maybe some ice pellets possibly. You can see those off toward the Gulf Coast as we head through our Sunday morning. Chances pretty slim, but it's something we'll continue to monitor. Sadly, again, no snow for Central Florida, but it's going to be cold. Temperatures top out in the mid to upper 50s this morning. Then the bottom starts to drop out later on tonight with the help of that strong northwesterly wind. Wind advisories in play because the gusts could get up close to 45 miles per hour later on this evening into tonight. Watch how quickly the wind increases. So make sure if you are getting out, try to do some things this morning, maybe prep the house a little bit, make sure anything is safe and secure on your lanai, your deck, your porch. Then we start to feel the chill. 20s in Ocala, low 20s at that, around 24 in Orlando, 26 in Titusville. This isn't the case where, it's a little warmer in the beaches, it's colder inland. All of us are going to be cold for Central Florida standards, and the wind is going to do us no favors. The wind chills by just past dinner time, late this evening, teens and 20s. A lot of us in the teens. Then by tomorrow morning, single digits and low teens. Some of the coldest air we have had in over a decade, and some of the coldest wind chills at least in the last 75 years almost. So that's something that we will certainly be talking about for a long time. By tomorrow evening, still feeling wind chills in the 20s and 30s. It's going to be a brutal feeling day, that is for sure. So bundle up, find the cold weather gear, freeze warnings for all of us. Think about your pipes, your plants, your pets, your friends, family, neighbors, and then with the wind into account, taking that in feeling that chill, we have extreme cold warnings for those dangerous wind chills back down into the single digits and teens. I was talking about ranking those wind chills since 1952, so really beyond at least 50 years, you can see wind chills have not been this cold, and we're going to likely rank in the top 10 as we progress through the remainder of the weekend. We're breaking records too, not just for the lows, but for the highs. Our coldest high on February 1st, 48, set back in 1936. We'll likely break both of those. That's something we'll continue to keep tabs on as well. Storm team alerts for not just Saturday, but Sunday into Monday as well. Then we're back into the 60s. High pressure continuing to build in, but we are tracking yet another cold front. This one could bring us a few showers as we head into the day on Thursday. 7:51, time to introduce you to our Fox 35 weather baby this morning. This is little Eleanor. Look at that smile on her face. Oh my goodness. She has a beautiful smile, and she's got a great outfit too. If you want to send us one that we can feature on the show, one of your little ones, scan that QR code. We would love to get them on Good Day Orlando. We'll be right back with more Good Day Orlando just around the corner. Stay with us.
Good Day Orlando, sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
If you have plans to hit the parks this weekend, keep this in mind. Freezing temperatures could stop coasters and amusement rides in their tracks. Certain manufacturers have temperature cutoff limits to make sure rides run as safely as possible. Some rides just cannot operate in lower than 50 degrees. For others, it's closer to 40. So how are they actually impacted? One expert tells us the cold can cause these rides to slow down, which can be dangerous.
Literally back the train up slowly in the station, pull it forward, back it up, pull it forward, and that allows the grease in the wheels to kind of warm up a bit. When it's cold like this, the grease kind of slows it down a little bit, and we can have issues like what we saw with Stardust Racers with a valleying situation.
If you are looking for some outdoor thrills like Expedition Everest, Slinky Dog Dash, or Tron, be prepared for possible delays. At Universal Studios, rides like the Hulk roller coaster, the Velocicoaster, and other outdoor attractions could also be impacted as ride operators work to warm up the tracks like you just heard. Experts say it's best to check the company's apps to look for delays or cancellations. As for water parks, they are closing. I don't think I'd want to head out to one, but you can't anyways. Aquatica, Volcano Bay, Blizzard Beach, and Typhoon Lagoon will stay closed throughout the weekend. Island H2O Water Park is also closed. They will be closed until the first week of March. Next here on Good Day Orlando, the push to retire this guy, Punxsutawney Phil. But who could step in as his replacement? We're hearing a few futuristic ideas. This and much more is still to come. Don't go anywhere.
As viewers get to know me more, I hope that we can build a relationship that's fueled by trust. Every day, I have their best interests at heart. I'll see you weekdays starting at 4 a.m. on Good Day Orlando.
We are just a few days out from Groundhog Day. 6 more weeks of winter or an early spring. What is your guess? Well, animal advocacy group PETA says the decision should not lie with Punxsutawney Phil. They say Phil needs to be retired. PETA suggests instead of using a live groundhog, Phil should go futuristic with a high-tech hologram. PETA even offered to make a 3D projection. It would look something like this, complete with all the bells and whistles. No word yet from officials on how they feel about it. How do you feel about it? Should we still have Phil or should we let him retire?
It's funny. I feel like he's been doing that a long time.
There's been a lot of Phils.
It's probably due for retirement. And when I lived in Pennsylvania, every single town had their own groundhog. We had like, oh my goodness, a bunch of them. So it's like you had to see if they saw their shadow, which one, and it was crazy on Groundhog Day.
So cute. They're just
adorable.
Chunky bodies. They're so. In my opinion, I feel like they should be living like celebrities.
Oh my gosh, 1,000%. And people in Punxsutawney treat Phil like one. I mean, they go nuts for Groundhog's Day. It's like, it's a huge party up there.
What are your predictions this year?
That'll be interesting. I feel like no matter what, it looks like our February, at least as we head through the next couple weeks, it looks cold. So I think we're going to get more winter here in Central Florida.
I'm leaning that direction too, but I can't tell if it's just because of this weekend. That's how I'm feeling. But our question this morning is, do you think Phil should be retired?
Okay.
Should he stick around and keep doing these same old Groundhog Day over and over again? Or should he head over to maybe to Florida for early retirement?
We've got
the poll on our screen right now. Scan the QR code to weigh in. We'll be checking all morning long, but our next hour starts right now.